What's happening? What's happening? Today is a good day to be alive. It is a day that you've never seen before and you'll never see it again. Isn't that funny about days? It's another opportunity to get it right. And if you got it wrong, it goes behind you and you don't have to repeat it again. Welcome to Medicine for the Mind. It is the lesson that will heal your mindset and cause you to get complete freedom from addiction of any kind. I don't care what it is. I don't care how long you've had it. If you've been dealing with addiction from alcohol and drugs or from gambling, it can be from a sex, it could be from lying or people. Just some people are addicted to people, addicted to approval, just addicted, period. You can be free from addiction. You have a 100% chance to be free from any type of addiction if you do it God's way. And so today we're going to be teaching from the subject, habits that will keep addiction away. Addiction hides in habits. It hides in habits. See, the way you think, I repeat it over and over again, the way you think is because of your environment. So if you want to live free, you got to fight for it from the beginning. The environment creates your thoughts. Your thoughts create your feelings. Your feelings create your speech, what you talk about. What you talk about creates your behavior. Your behavior creates your habits. Your habits create your character, and your character creates your life. So if you want something to be out of your life, you got to go back to your habits. And if you want your habits to change, you got to go back to what you keep doing over and over again. And if you want what you do to change, you got to change what you've been talking about. And if you want to change what you've been talking about, you got to change your feelings, because people express and talk about what they feel. And if you want to change how you feel, change what you've been thinking. And if you want to change what you've been thinking, you got to change what you've been exposing yourself to, your environment. And environment is so key. Well, today in this lesson, we are establishing habits that will help overcome addiction and set your life, hear these words, on a path to success. Now, I want you to get this. I want you to understand. I got to give it to you. This is all going to be done from a Christian perspective. So this medicine for the mind is how to defeat addiction from a Christian perspective in any way. Now listen, to reach any goal in life, you must be determined to succeed. You must be determined from the beginning. Secondly, you must have a desire to become well acquainted with success and despise failure. In other words, when you want something bad enough, you start going after it, and when you get it, you get an appetite for success. You get an appetite for winning, and addiction always causes defeat. Hear this. And the habits that can help you on your road that will always end in success. There are habits that you can have that will always end in success. And there are habits that will cause you to detour on the road of success and end up on the road of defeat. It's up to you to choose. It's up to you to choose. So listen. In the book of Matthew, you know, I always try to give you some scripture. In the book of Matthew, hear me. There is a passage of scripture that got my attention today. I'll share it with you. in the book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 19 through 20 through 21, and I'm going to read it out of the Passion Bible. It says this: don't keep hoarding up for yourselves earthly treasures that can be stolen by thieves. Material wealth eventually rusts, decays, and loses its value. So all of these things that are in the natural, in this world, it will eventually rust, decay, and lose its value because it is constantly dying. Do you hear me? Everything is constantly in a death cycle. And so it never lasts forever. The Bible says heaven and earth will pass away, but God's word will last forever. Then in verse 20, it says, instead, stockpile heavenly treasures for yourself that cannot be stolen and will never rust, decay, or lose its value. So that means there's something that I can't see that is more valuable than anything I can see. And when I fall in love with what I can't see, I can always use that which I can't see to produce anything that I can see. Because what I can see came from a place that I can't see. Do you get it? I hope that wasn't confusing. So we have to change our value system. That causes our habits. That causes our response. That causes us to have a way of behaving or a lifestyle that we treasure. And that's when we raise our value for what we want. And it's got to be something then natural, in a natural sense. Now, I got to say this. I didn't plan on it, but I'm going to say this. The spiritual thing is anything you can't see is more valuable. Hear me. Your thoughts, you can't see them. Your feelings, you can't see them. Words, you can't see them. They are more valuable than anything you can see, because your thoughts, your words, even your desires create behavior that causes what you see, what you get, and what you experience. So if I value something that I can't see and make sure that what I can't see is like this, it has a pure motive, then I will cooperate with my habits and create a consistent life of success. Finally, look at what it says in verse 21. For your heart will always pursue what you value as your treasure. It will always pursue it. One of my sons, he was, in school, he was in college, and he was hanging out with a few friends. They were all hanging together. And there was one particular young lady that he was always hanging with. And I asked him, were they dating? He was like, no, I don't have no feelings towards her. She don't have no feelings towards me. I said, son, if you keep spending time with her and she keeps spending time with you, y'all gonna develop feelings for one another. No. I said, listen, the Bible is always true. Wherever you treasure, your heart will follow. And treasure means whatever you start spending the most time with and valuing their company, you're gonna fall hard. Well, it wasn't long before, a couple of months maybe, I got this phone call, and my son had to tell me, Dad, I'm dating. I was like, who is she? And I said, let me guess. Oh yeah, that's the girl you were dating. And now they're planning to get married. Man, I want you to understand, if you treasure something, you don't even have to like it. If you just treat it a certain way, you'll begin to like it. I was talking to someone today, and a young lady told me that her boyfriend didn't like coffee. And then he started drinking coffee. But at that point, he started having cream in coffee, and he had to have sugar in coffee. And then finally, he just decided he wasn't going to put in the cream, wasn't going to put in the sugar. It tastes putrid to him. However, now she says he loves it. And she said, I don't understand how you can drink black coffee. I said, I understand. All you have to do is start drinking it. If you drink it consistently, you'll develop an appetite for it. That's how drugs and alcohol appear in your life. Once you participate in it, you could not even like it the first time. But if you keep doing it over and over and over, even not for the drug, but for the people or the crowd or for the acceptance or for just being around your friends, you will develop a love for it. You will develop a habit. You'll develop a dependence upon the very thing that you said you'd never do. Well, I want you to understand habits that will keep addiction away. Now, I want you to understand these words. What does it mean to treasure? I want you to know. What does it mean to treasure? One, you invest in it. So your money starts following something you treasure. Okay? Number two, you start hanging around other people that enjoy what you treasure. If you like cars, you like building or muscle cars, you start going to muscle car shows. You'll start investing in that car, and then you'll start having friendships with other people that like what you like. Also, you become enthusiastic about talking about it often. All you have to do, you can be walking past someone and somebody could be talking about a car, and your ears will perk up and you'll hear them. And then before long, you'll be sorry. You know something? I got me a car. I got a 1979 short bed Chevy truck. That's the way it happened to me. All of a sudden, I hear people talking about cars because I'm starting to treasure cars. And last but not least, you'll become disgruntled if what you care about is disrespected. If somebody puts a dent in my truck, if somebody don't take care of it, man, it's gonna bother me. If you treasure your mom and somebody starts talking about your mother, when I was a kid, those were fighting words. Those were fighting words because mom is who I treasured. Okay, so let me tell you what it is. It's starting a routine. Habits is starting a routine. Routine will always get better at whatever you practice. Routine increases perfection. Routine is hidden within it, hear this, improvement. Whatever you do consistently, good or bad, and it becomes a routine, it will expand and increase. And the capacity for what to do and how to handle it will increase. That's the way drugs and alcohol is. Your tolerance will increase the more you drink it, the more you use it. It will increase. It's natural. So the more you practice a habit, the more you'll begin to get better at it, and it will increase. Right. I started riding a bicycle. Riding a bike, I started off, I probably rode maybe 3 miles. When I kept riding over and over, day after day, I went from 3 miles to 10 miles, from 10 miles to like 16 miles, from 16 miles to 21, from 21 to 23, from 23 to 26. And I never explored doing more than 26 miles of riding a bicycle at one time. You can ride a bike as many miles as you want to, but it takes a routine and a practice, and your muscles get used to it. It's called muscle memory. Well, that's the way habits have to be established that will fight away addiction. So what are the habits? Matter of fact, what is a habit? It's a routine. Habits is a regular behavior that you practice repeatedly, consistently, often without much conscious thought. A habit plays a significant role in shaping and influencing our overall lifestyle. It is our habits. Okay? I was talking to someone, and they said, "Well, man, you sound like a preacher." They didn't know that I am a ordained minister and been preaching and teaching and pastoring church for I think 25, 26 years more. Over 25 years. And I said, "How did you know?" They said, "Well, you sound like one." Well, how can I not? Because that's what I've been doing all these years. That's all I've been doing. All I've been doing is teaching the word and helping people use the Bible to change their lives. That's my gift. I can't do nothing else. That's what I can do. And that's what I plan to do until the day I leave this earth. I'm going to teach and minister the word on how to improve your life. So here are 5 habits that will fight off any addiction of any kind. Number 1, make it a habit to commit to growing. Write that down. To commit to growing. Before you can succeed, you must make a commitment to long-term growth. You got to say, I'm going to grow. I'm going to get better, and I'm going to keep growing. Now, long-term growth it doesn't mean doing something once or twice. It means I'm going to stick to it until I finish what I start. Listen, if you want to master anything, you study that subject for 5 minutes a day for 5 years, and you will be a master of that subject, whatever it is. 5 minutes for 5 years. All you got to do is keep doing it. Now, you do know it can become quicker if you study longer. But that's what I'm saying. Anything you can become good at. If you study it 5 years for 5 minutes a day. Research, do whatever. Commit to getting better. Number 2, believe you can get better at anything. Always believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, who will? Who else will believe in you? You can't convince somebody else to believe in you if you don't believe in you. So you're going to have to believe that you can accomplish this. You can beat this addiction. You got to believe that you can defeat whatever vice that's got a hold on you. If you don't believe you can do it, you can't do it. You're right. If you don't believe you can do it, you're right. But if you believe that you can, you're also right. It's based on believing in yourself. If anybody can do it, I can do it. That's what I told myself. If anybody can do it, I can do it. I've had to learn new techniques. I've had to learn computers like I've never learned before. I had to learn the Mac versus an HP computer. Matter of fact, my wife bought me this HP computer, and when it had updated with a new operating system. And when she purchased it, I was upset. She was like, I bought you a new computer. I'm used to the old one, and I didn't even want to learn the new stuff. But I said, if anybody can do it, I can do it. One of the greatest things about success is you can always learn to succeed. But I want you to know, you're going to have this type of mindset. I'm willing to unlearn what I did wrong and watch this, relearn a new way of doing something right. You can do it. All right. Next statement. Get in the habit of completing whatever you start. Get in the habit of it. Stop. You just say, hey, I got to get this done. I'm going to keep working until I complete it. My dad said like this. He said, always do your best, regardless, and always finish what you start. My dad would tell me that. When you start that type of habit and you make a commitment to whatever it is defeating your addiction, defeating that thing that's been robbing you and taking from you and causing you to do what it wants you to do instead of you doing what you want to do, you make a commitment. No, I'm going to finish this thing. I'm going to finish what I start. So if you do so, that habit kicks in, and then every time you begin to walk it out, challenge yourself to do something until it's done, until you're finished. I used to be a cut corner kind of guy, used to cut the corners, but I trained myself over the years how to do an excellent job and not cut corners. I can't even walk away and it's halfway done. I believe my mother put that in me when she taught me how to clean the bathroom, the sink, and the toilets. She taught me how to clean it. She showed me how to clean it. She then helped me clean it. Then she watched me clean it, and then she walked away and let me clean it. And man, I learned how to finish what I start and do it with excellence. The next thing, hear this. Don't let anything cause you, watch this, to lose focus and not finish. Don't let anything or anyone cause you to lose focus and not finish. I've been talking about it for a while, and I'll say it again. We had a house fire on June 16th, and the house fire, we lost everything. And we lost, my cars went up, my home, my clothing, everything. The trucks were still there, the ambulance, all of that was still there. And I had this bright idea. I am supposed to be preaching today, and it's June 16th, which was Father's Day. And I made up my mind. I'm going to get to the place where I'm supposed to preach. And so that Sunday morning, with black stuff on my face, me and my wife borrowed my son's car, drove to Walmart, bought some clothes, just enough to get in the pulpit, and went and preached and ministered. Some people were offended by it. Some of my kids were. They were like, man, you're addicted to this thing. Why does it mean so much? It means so much because that's what my purpose is. And I was not going to allow my life tragedies to get me off course. And that's my comfort. My comfort in life is ministering to other people and helping them grow in their own lives. That was my comfort, getting to a pulpit and ministering. I want you to know, get in the habit of staying focused and finish what you start. Listen to this. Number 5, eliminate comparisons. Comparison is one of the most destructive habits that will hinder anyone's success. My wife says it this way. Comparison is the thief of joy. You will lose your joy whenever you compare yourself to someone else. It is okay to admire someone or follow in their footsteps, but don't let their accomplishments destroy your motivation. Don't compare yourself to anybody. Compare yourself to the goal that you're trying to accomplish and stay on it until you accomplish it. You hear me? Number five, explore options. Your success may live in something beyond what you've ever done. When people are closed off to the new, they only repeat the behaviors of the past. But if you're open to new options, you will explore how you can do it better, you can live better, you can understand it better, you can do it different. Matter of fact, you can learn something new that will give you more results with less effort. With less effort. So be open to something new. Explore different ways to accomplish a task. You may be able to identify concepts, strategies, and practices that you can incorporate that will produce greater outcomes, greater success. The best ideas come from exploring. Matter of fact, trouble is the mother of inventions. Trouble. It means when there's a problem, I need to come up and create a solution. It causes people to create solutions. Notice that addiction has been causing you trouble. Create a new way of living. And finally, nope, I got two more. Hear this. Watch what you're working according to a plan. Create, or watch this, make sure you're working according to a plan. Create a plan for your success. Planning will remind you of what direction you're going in. Stop working without a plan. Work with the plan. Check your plan often and keep it up to date. So plan what you're going to do, how you're going to attack this disease, how you're going to attack this addiction, how are you going to attack your relationship and improve it, and follow your plan and follow it consistently. It will reshape the outcome of whatever you're dealing with. And then often, this is the last one, practice establishing boundaries. Now, I got to say this. Get in the habit of doing this. Have boundaries. Boundaries, when they are established, will teach others how to treat you. If you've been drinking and you decided I'm going to stop drinking, set boundaries. First of all, set personal boundaries. I'm not going to let alcohol in my presence. I'm going to keep it out of my house. I'm going to keep it out of where I go. I'm going to stay away from places that have what I said I wasn't going to participate in. When someone else comes into your presence, they can't come with whatever substance, conversation, drug, drinking. They can't bring that to you. You need to make an announcement. Hey, I need you to stop. Don't bring that to me because I'm not doing that. Set some boundaries. Boundaries protect your environment from unwanted potential outcomes. From unwanted potential outcomes. If you don't want that to be your outcome, set a boundary and keep the thing out of your environment. Wow. And then finally, boundaries help you value yourself. If you value yourself, if you do, you want to place some boundaries. Those boundaries say, I'm worth it. I'm valuable. I mean a lot to me. My life means a lot to me. And I'm not going to allow this addiction to take my resources, to take my health, to take my relationships, to make me abandon my responsibilities, to cause me to become untrustworthy and unpredictable. I'm going to value me, and I'm going to create a habit that will fight off the addiction and cause my life to become better in any area that I choose I want to become better at. So I think that that's enough. I'm going to try to expound more on specific habits, some specific coping skills, some specific places to avoid in our next session. That's what I'll deal with. Well, I hope you've been blessed. Hope you've been helped. I hope this will inspire you to establish habits that will fight off addiction. God bless you. May heaven smile upon you.